Watford are on the verge of relegation in the Premier League right now. They are sitting in 19th position in the Premier League. So I thought, what better time than to rebuild Watford? They are still a Premier League club in FM22. So today we take them over and try and guide them to Premier League glory. Initially in that first season, yes, we will be trying to avoid relegation. But after that, we will be pushing up as much as we can to finish as high up into the table. And you never know, we may get them into Europe. But we need to stay in the job for 5 years. We need to be successful because we all know how Watford's board of directors get with their sackings of a manager. It's not good. So I'm hoping we can stay into this for 5 years. Let's dive into the game so we can take a look at this Watford team and the tactic that I'm going to run today. So this is the history of Watford. They are winners of Sky Bet League 1 on 2 occasions. They are Sky Bet League 2 winners on the 1 occasion. And they've also won the Pitching In Southern Premier Division. Not great. They've been bouncing around the Premier League up and down a little bit. They got relegated most recently in 1920. They got promoted the season after straight away. And then we are into the 2021-2022 season. They've already chopped and changed their manager a couple of times. And Roy Hodgson is at the helm right now, but it still looks like Watford are going to be relegated to the Championship. Today, we will be looking to rebuild them and do things a little bit different. Hopefully, we can stay in the job. Their highest Premier League finish was 11th in 2018-2019 in the most recent history. So that is what we are going to try and beat at least in that first season. In terms of the team and the tactic, this is the tactic that we are going to run. It is the 𝘼𝙗𝙤 Volante victory. Now, this is a really interesting tactic, and I'm really looking forward to trying it actually in game. Yes, I am using a 𝘼𝙗𝙤 tactic. Go and check it out down below. I will post a link to the video where we review this tactic and show it off a little bit more. It is very good. Yes, I am using a plug and play tactic. That is because I want to give it a little bit more exposure. You guys love these rebuilds. I love the tactical stuff. So we're all going to combine it all into one nice little package. But this is how it looks. It's a sweeper keeper in goal, 2 inverted wing backs, 2 central defenders, 2 segundo volantes, hence volante victory. Wingers on either side, a support shadow striker, and an advance forward. It's going to be an interesting one to see how it actually does with Watford. Looking at this, if we've quick picked, I believe I've quick picked our best 11. It has just switched those two around. This is the best 11. Ben Foster, the cycling GK, as a sweeper keeper. I don't think he's going to be the one. I'm also not overly impressed by either fullback. Defensively, the 2 centre-backs seem okay. Sissoko and Kuka? It's how I'm going to say this guy's name. I really need to watch more Premier League football, don't I? Look okay as the Volantes. Obviously, the main man in the team is 𝘼𝙗𝙤. And yeah, we've got a couple of options up front. Obviously, Josh King is there at the moment, but we've obviously got the options of João Pedro and Emmanuel. Is it Emmanuel Dennis? Is his first name Emmanuel? Emmanuel Dennis. So we've got a couple of different options, but first season, main objective, stay in the division. So if you've not seen one of these before, we simulate throughout the course of the year and we come back at the end and we see how things are getting on. So let's do this first season right now and see if we can save Watford from relegation. So we are back at the end of the first season and we have avoided relegation and we finished in 10th. I'm actually buzzing with this performance for Watford actually. Finishing in 10th, we had 57 points. You can already see on the league table, Liverpool won the league with 100 points. Is that an omen for this season? I don't know. I like to think that Football Manager is pretty darn accurate with a lot of these things. So yeah, we finished in 11th. We finished in 10th. 2 goal scorers. 𝘼𝙗𝙤 and Emmanuel Dennis, as you probably would expect, are the top goal scorers for the club with 11 goals each in the Premier League. 𝘼𝙗𝙤, we're going to touch on him a little bit. As you can see him here, 12 goals, 9 assists, doing really, really well for us in the Premier League. Obviously, he is still pretty young, explosive on that wing, can play on both sides. I think he is obviously the main man that we are going to build this team around moving forward. In the other cup competitions, though, knocked out in the 4th round of the Emirates FA Cup by Spurs, and then we were knocked out in the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup by Spurs again. But I think ultimately a good performance in the cup trophies, which is pretty darn good. But the main thing was to avoid that relegation. If we do the season preview, as you can see, 450 to 1 as a recently promoted team. And we finished in 10th. So I'm really happy with that. We didn't go down. We weren't relegated. I'm really, really happy with how things got on. If we take a look at the stages and expand things a little bit more, 16 victories for us, 9 draws and 13 losses. We've got a positive goal difference, but we've kind of shipped too many, in my opinion, and we've also not scored as many as we'd like. So there will need to be some defensive reinforcements here. That's probably where I'm going to start things, look a bit stronger at the back, and then we go and build on from that. Newcastle relegated is a very interesting prospect. We may go in and pick up some of the players that they have already purchased. Maybe they have relegation release clauses in their contracts, I don't know. But finishing in 10th is pretty good. Only 5 points off of the European spots, Europa Conference League. Chelsea go into that. Fair play to Leeds and West Ham for doing really, really well and getting into those spots. If we go into the finances, I've got a transfer budget now of £35.2 million to go and spend, and we need to go and spend it wisely. Let's go and reinforce this team going into season number 2. So guys, let's kick things off with a transfer update. We have some interesting transfers to bring to you. We have spent our money wisely, in my opinion, and we're going to make this team even better for season number 2. We have been out and we have spent some cash. First and foremost, bringing in goalkeeper Dominik Livakovic. Obviously, this is the Dinamo Zagreb shot stopper, Croatian international. He's got 19 for one-on-ones, 18 reflexes, really nice throwing as well to get the team moving again. He is a sweeper keeper of all. After all, 10 pace, okay, I can get on board with it. He's not as quick as I would like for a sweeper keeper, but he is potentially one of the best goalkeepers in the game this year, so I'm really happy to bring him in. Maximilian Woba comes in. I think he's a really nice option. I really also think he can be this inverted wing back and sort of step in for us as we kind of would like, but is another good centre back option, can play left back as well. He comes in from RB Salzburg for £10.57 million after having a good season, 16 appearances for them in their league last season, averaging a 7.06. Omar Soleil also comes in as well, another good guy for this. He can play really, really well as a centre-back. He can also probably play in here as a secondo volante. That's where we went out and signed him. He is really promising. You can usually get a good return on investment on Omar Soleil, and his career stats. We paid £21 million for him, and he averaged a 7.37 for RB Salzburg last year. So I'm hoping he can come in and do really well for us. Worst case scenario, he comes in, does well, we sell him and make a profit and reinvest that back into the rest of the team. Liam Delap comes in on loan from Manchester City. I think we needed another sort of striker option to balance out up there. He looks pretty good in this second season. He has the consistency trait which I am looking for in my players. 6'2", nice and well rounded, could develop into a good player if we give him the game time. I don't know if we will. That's kind of up to my assistant manager. You know how I do this, guys. I just go on holiday and let the assistant manager do things. So also we've gone out and signed one of the hottest prospects in world football going into this summer. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is how I'm going to say this guy's name. He is really good. We had him in our division in the Feyenoord Rebuild. If you've not seen that one, please do go and check out the Feyenoord Rebuild. It was really interesting. He was obviously playing for PSV and we were at Feyenoord. He was pretty exceptional actually in the Eredivisie, and I thought we needed a big guy to be that segundo volante. Yes, I would probably like someone who's got a little bit better dribbling, a little bit better finishing, but as a big body in there, I think he's going to be really key for us. Ivorian International paid £15 million to PSV for him. Again, I think is really good business. We have spent some more money though. This guy comes in, the guy whose name I butchered last time. He was already on a free pre-arranged transfer, so he does come in. And we've also signed 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 as well. He comes in cheap as chips from Malmo. Obviously, he spends that first season now on loan at Bordeaux, where he averaged a 7.1 playing at centre back in Ligue 1. We paid £3.7 million to Malmo for his services, so we are looking much better. Unfortunately, Ben Foster, he has left us. He has gone over to Valencia, the cycling GK, all the way over to Spain, which is nice for him. We've had a couple of other outgoings as well, but nothing massive to report on. Ben Foster, the biggest departure, but obviously we do have Livakovic coming in. So in terms of our team and the tactic, guys, if we do a little cheeky quick pick of the best 11, this is how we're looking now. Livakovic in goal. We've still got issues at fullback. Wappah and Soleil come in here. Sanakre joins Musa Sissoko here. Sarr, King, Quina, and then Delap up top. We do have options. Obviously, we are a little bit deeper. Obviously, Amitlosik is there. Loza's a pretty good player as well. Emmanuel Dennis, again, another nice little one. But this squad's pretty deep now, guys. We've got lots of bodies in here. It's time to probably try and do something with them. In terms of the club vision and how we are expected to get on, This is what we're expected to do. So we are trying to sign players under the age of 23 for the first team, which we are definitely doing. Obviously, we're trying to invest in these cheaper players before they get much, much more expensive and out of our budget. Sign young players to develop for profit. Again, I think we're doing that. Work within the wage budget. Yep, we're on course there. Sign players to sell for a profit. Much the same thing. It's the difference between young and normal players. Minimum 3-year contracts for first team players. Again, they don't really care about that. That is just something that they prefer. In terms of the competitions, they want us to finish Premier League, mid-table in the Premier League, reach the 5th round of the Emirates FA Cup and the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. My contract is up at the end of season 2, so we need some interesting results in competitions so far. If we go into the Premier League and take a look at the season preview, we are expected to finish in 14th. We have odds of 300 to 1 to win the title. I don't think the title is possible. Maybe towards the end of this save, once we have a couple of years of building, maybe we get into the Champions League or into the Europa League or something like that and get some big money into the club. But at the moment, I think this is going to be a little bit of a stretch getting to the top of the table. But 300 to 1, predicted to finish 14th. Let's simulate the season and see how season 2 treats us. So here we have it. It is the end of season 2, and we have done so much better this season. Those defensive reinforcements have really helped, and Watford have finished up in 6th in the Premier League and have qualified for the Europa League next season. We finish in 6th then. 19 victories out of the games we played, 10 draws, 9 losses, 70 goals scored and 43 goals conceded. Our goal difference was relatively average after the first season, and then we've kind of gone like that really, which is really nice. We've scored a few more and conceded a lot less. 67 points, a pretty good return. We're only 3 points outside of the Champions League places, behind a team like Man City. 103 points for Liverpool this season. Klopp's men doing what Klopp's men do. So yeah, I'm really happy with this return into the Europa League. Is going to be really interesting. Burnley, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough relegated. Looks like West Ham have won the Europa League in this season. David Moyes still their manager. Declan Rice still there. Yep, they won the Europa League final. They beat Villarreal on penalties. So despite finishing in 13th in the Premier League, they go into the Champions League. So we've got 5 teams in the Champions League, 3 teams in the Europa League. Very positive, strong start for England in these continental competitions. In terms of the other competitions for us this season, ignore the Friendly Cup. It's a pre-season Friendly Cup. It means nothing. We knocked out in the 5th round of the Emirates FA Cup by Leeds United. For some reason in this save, it's a double cup combo. We get knocked out by the same team in both competitions, but knocked out in the 3rd round of the Carabao by Leeds United as well. Emmanuel Dennis, the top goal scorer for us in the Premier League, however, was also the top goal scorer for us in all comps. Didn't score in the others, scored 21 in the Premier League. So he did really well for us, actually. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is the highest average rating. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 and Kamara doing well with the 8 assists there, but the defensive reinforcements really seem to help. We have now scored the 4th best amount of goals in the division and conceded the 6th best, so pretty good all in all for a team the size of Watford. Going into season number 3 though, the war chest is starting to build up. Obviously getting into the Europa League is going to help things a little bit. £45.9 million to go and spend some cash on this Watford team. I think this time last summer we did the defensive reinforcements. Let's go try and make some additions moving forward up front. Let's see what we can do. I'll be back for season number 3 in just a few seconds. Transfer update for season number 3 is here. We've had a couple of outgoings as well that I will talk about first and foremost. This guy here, Francisco Ciralta, centre-back, I believe that's Chilean. He is Chilean, has gone out to the Bundesliga. He is now a Frankfurt player. He has left us for £11.5 million, and I'm not too fussed about it, guys. He actually left in the middle of last season in the January, but I completely forgot to update you on it. Danny Rose is gone, William Troost-Ekong's gone, Tom Cleverley, Craig Cathcart, Cabaselli. We are just shifting players out left, right and centre in order to bring in some more options. We did make some signings in that January, which I completely forgot to tell you about. Dennis Zakaria came in. He was transfer listed. We went out and spent some money on him. He really helped in that volante position. Matteo Gabbia came in as well, another centre-back option. He came in from AC Milan. All of these players are transfer listed, so 7.75 for Zakaria, 2.9 for Gabbia. Federico Di Marco comes in from AC Milan. Somehow, for some reason, he's done a transfer from Inter to AC, and now he finds himself at Watford. 9.75. They've made a profit on a guy that only played once for them, but came in and had a really good second half of the season for us. Probably what helped us finish so high up in the league as well. And 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 comes in as well, another player who I think can play that volante position and add a little bit more depth to us. But they were all last season's. They were all January additions. This season, we've been out and spent some more money as well. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 comes in from Benfica on a free transfer. His contract was up, the 5-star potential youth lad. Wanted to be a fringe player, so I'm more than happy for him to come in on a freebie and do that. We've also signed Benjamin Sesko. Everybody knows who Benjamin Sesko is this time around. He looks great. I like Benjamin Sesko. Hoping he can be the man to lead our line moving things forward. We paid £15.5 million for him. It could rise up to 18. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is how I've butchered this guy's name before. He comes in from Feyenoord. We did a Feyenoord rebuild last weekend, and he is great. Can play in the central midfield position, can play in the shadow striker position, is very well rounded, only 22 years of age, Turkish international. So Orhan comes in to be our central attacking midfielder. And also we signed this guy as well, João Victor, another centre back or right back. I'm probably going to use him at right back, just to add a little bit more depth in that right back position. I think he could be our starting choice left back, but we just have to wait and see. In terms of some of the other transfers out, guys, I've completely forgot about some of these. This guy, he has gone. He wanted to leave to go to Norwich, so I sold him to Norwich and then was able to bring in the Brazilian for a little bit more money. The reason I got rid of this guy, Jeremy, is because he doesn't enjoy big matches, and we don't like that in our clubs. In terms of some of the others, this guy here, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 has gone to Dinamo for 6 million. We sold a couple of players here, there and everywhere. We let Moussa Sissoko go on a free. He's gone to Wolves. Josh King's gone to Lens, so this is why we needed to improve some of our players. Tactic wise, this is how we're looking with a quick pick of the best 11. Benjamin Sesko goes in there. Orkan comes in there. Demarco can play on this wing, on this left wing side, which is great. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, sorry, not 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, that's the one from Chelsea. Zakaria Veretout adds that little bit more depth. This is basically a whole new team for Watford. Not many remainers in here. Hopefully we can go on and have a really good season and build on that sixth place finish, or 7th place finish. I can't remember where we finished. We've got Europa League this year, which I think is going to cause us some issues. We enter in the group stages, but the additional games is always a struggle. In terms of the club vision though, we have to, let's expand this one for you so you guys can see it. In terms of the competitions, they want us to reach the first knockout round of the Europa League, finish mid-table in the Prem, 5th round and 4th round respectively in the domestic cup competitions. How do we get on for season number 3? Let's simulate. I'll be back at the end of the year. So guys, end of season 3, and it turns out we are a dab hand in cup competitions. We have not only won the Carabao Cup, we've also won the Europa Bloody League somehow in season number 3. It looks like the rebuild job that we've done on this Watford team has been exceptional, and we finish in 7th in the Prem as well. So overall, this is by far and away our best season. We're ignoring the points total in the Prem. We've won 2 cup competitions as well. In the Carabao Cup, we beat Arsenal in that final 3-2. Thanks to goals from Benjamin Sesko, Bremer, who is a January addition. I'll talk about that in a second. And Federico Di Marco, again, another good player. Gabriel and Bukayo Saka with the goals for Arsenal. But we were too good for them, getting that trophy underway. We'll review the Europa League section very, very shortly as well. And then let's take a look at the Premier League table. We finished just below Chelsea, 1 point below Chelsea, but the goal difference is still pretty good. We're doing okay here, but I feel the extra added games would have been a problem for us this year. So I'm happy to see that we finished in the top 10 of the table, whilst also playing in Europe as well. I think that's quite nice, and also going to the Carabao Cup final again. Also very good, very nice. Benjamin Sesko had a very good goal return for us, 22 goals for him. He's still only 21 years of age, so 22 goals in all comps is pretty good, averaging pretty much a goal every other game. Really, really happy with his return. Let's talk about some of these transfers though, guys, because we made some changes in the January window. Maximum Wappah has gone. He has left us for Juventus. He wanted to play at a club in the Champions League. He has gone. £24 million. We made some good profit on him. 13 million over the 2 seasons, or season and a half, should I say. He is now a Juventus player, which meant that we went out and signed Bremer, this little Brazilian who plays for Torino at the start of the game. He's really nice. I think he's a nice little upgrade. We've got got some really good competition for centre-backs now, which I think is really, really healthy. Pleased, very pleased with this guy. In terms of his career stats, we paid £35 million for him, but it's been averaging really, really nice scores for Torino, and then we've gone and brought him in, and his average rating's gone up just that little bit extra. Now he's playing in the Premier League, which is good, because you never really know sometimes how players are going to transition into the Premier League. So that was the January change that we needed to speak about. Let's look at the Europa League run then, shall we, boys? Let's go into the competitions and filter solely by Europa League. So we were in Group D with Partizan. The reason I'm saying that, guys, is because I'm doing a live save on this channel with Red Star, and obviously Partizan are their biggest rivals. I actually have nothing against Partizan other than that. Club Brugge and Fevrenakos, I believe is how you say that team's name from Hungary. I'll probably butchered it. Either way, played 6, won 6, scored 17, conceded 1 goal in the Europa League group stage. Then we move forward into the knockout stages, and we beat some pretty good teams on the way. To be honest, it actually got a little bit easier after Chelsea. So in the in the second knockout round, we took on RB Leipzig, drew 2-2 away from home, which is fine, to be honest. Then brought them back to Vicarage Road and beat them 3-0. Goals from João Pedro and Emmanuel Dennis, actual Watford players, still getting their game time. Then we took on Chelsea, lost 3-2 at Stamford Bridge, 2 goals from Lukaku and Rafael Leao with the goals for them, and then for us, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 and Jordan Veretout with the goals. But then we take them back to Vicarage Road, the fortress that is, and beat them 4-0. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 with 2, Benjamin Sesko and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 with the others. Into the semi-finals, as I said, it starts to get a little bit easier, at least it feels it anyway. We take on Shakhtar, draw 1-1 away, could bring them back to the fortress that is Vicarage Road and beat them 5-2. Then we go into the final and we take on Sporting in that final Aviva Stadium. We go all the way over to Ireland for this one, and we beat them 3-1. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 again, Benjamin Sesko and João Pedro with the goals. Marcus Edwards, the Englishman, with the goal for Sporting. So we lift the Europa League in season number 3, which is nuts. We go into the Champions League next season, meaning for season number 4, we have a transfer budget of £83.6 million. And we're going to go and spend it. I don't know where to spend it. I'm actually really happy with this team, to be honest, and how balanced we are and how we're playing and stuff like that. Omer Saleh has moved up into the volante role, as I thought he might do. But this team's really, really strong. I'm not sure how we're going to strengthen it, but I'm going to go and spend it because I've got 83 million. Let's go. Transfer update for season number 4 coming up next. So we had £83 million to spend going into season number 4, and we've been out and spent it as well. Matteo Pessina has come in from Atalanta. This Italian midfielder is really, really good. Can play in the central midfield spot, can play up top in the shadow striker role as well, which is exactly where we want to play him. Really nice first touch, good passing, phenomenal mental attributes, all in the double digits. God, they're little tongue twisters today. Is consistent, loves the big matches. Nice physical threat, runs through the ball with the centre, gets forward whenever possible, plays 1-2s. Oh, this guy as the central attacker midfielder for us at £41.5 million is really, really interesting. Not sure how he's going to get on, but it's a bit. I think he's going to do well. He's been doing well for Atalanta. It's a big price tag though. We spent half the budget on one player. We also went out and signed this guy, Destiny Udogie is how I'm going to say this guy's name. I've definitely butchered that. He's played for the Italian under-21 team 20 times. Nice and well-rounded in that fullback option. A little bit quicker than the options we've had. Perfectionist personalities, consistent. You can kind of see what I go for in these sorts of spots, guys. So it should give you a little bit more of an indication. Good on both feet. Comes from our other club, Udinese, which is quite nice to see. And we also signed Benoit Badiashile. Now, this guy usually goes for an absolute packet. He was on a free transfer leaving Monaco, so I picked him up for absolutely nothing. Hasn't really been playing for Monaco, which is criminal. Absolutely criminal. We've had a couple of outgoings as well, but they're all kind of small fees, so I'm not really going to talk to you about them too much. Tactic wise, here we are. Quick pick without restriction. Our best 11. This is it. Livakovic, Gabia, Amatlozic, Bremer, Udogie, Sole alongside Zakaria, Sarr, DeMarco, Pessina, and then obviously Benjamin Sesko up top. We've got a couple of issues here. What happens here? DeMarco wants a new contract. We can definitely sort that before we go into the season. Obviously, as Europa League winners of Watford, that is us with at Fortress Vicarage Road, we have the Super Cup. We're taking on Liverpool, and we are also into the group stages of the Champions League, which is pretty interesting as well. If we go into the club vision and expand this bad boy so you can take a look, this is how we're expecting to be competitive in the Champions League. Obviously, it's the first season for Watford in the Champions League, so we can't go too crazy at it. Super Cup wise, they don't really care. They say it's not important, but I still want to beat Liverpool. They want us to finish in the top half of the Premier League and reach the quarterfinals in both domestic cup competitions. Obviously, we won the Carabao last year, so I'm hoping that will sort of put me in good stead, but they recognise the improvements that's been made to the club stature. You're welcome, Watford. We are doing really well, and then next season they want us to qualify for the Europa League. Ooh, I don't know if that's possible. If we go into the Premier League, take a look at the season preview. We are now 33-1 to win the division. We've really closed the odds, and it looked like we're doing a good job in terms of progressing where this club could be. 33-1, predicted to finish 8th in the Champions League. I don't see it going very well this season. I think we're going to have a bit of a dip. Obviously, we've brought some different interesting players in. Champions League football, extra games, midweeks. We did it last season. Can we do it again this season? See you at the end of the year. So, end of season 4, and we've done pretty darn well throughout the course of the season. Unfortunately, runners-up in the Carabao Cup. We lose our Carabao Cup title, losing in the final to Chelsea 1-0. Who scored this goal for Chelsea? I'm just going to have a little peek. Jorginho with a 91st minute penalty. Ouch. We also got knocked out in the 4th round of the Emirates FA Cup by Arsenal. Lost the Super Cup to Liverpool, another 1-0. So it shows we're in the right sort of vicinity. Sadio Mane with that goal to see Liverpool lift that trophy. Knocked out in the semis of the Champions League, 3-1 on aggregate after the first game against Manchester United. It's an all-English semi-final in the Champions League, which is pretty nutty. And then in the Premier League, we finished in 9th, so no Europe for next season. 57 points for us is probably our lowest points return in a couple of years. We expand this, we finish in 9th, though, just outside the spots. Chelsea look like they tanked a large portion of this season. Manchester City also in a little bit of an issue. Aston Villa up into the Europa League, and Leeds are in the Champions League places as Manchester United win the Premier League. All in all, pretty happy with the season in terms of progress. Semi-finalists in the Champions League. I think Watford fans would take that. Benjamin Sesko still scoring. Pacino looking like he's had a good little first debut season in England. I'm happy with how things have gone. In terms of season number 5, though, we got £63.2 million. Let's go spend it for this 5th and final season. So you guys know how we do it around here. Now we've got into the 5th and final season. I want you guys to let me know that you are still here watching this rebuild. So please do comment down below in that comment section, Fortress Vicarage Road. We've been really good at home this season. So comment Fortress Vicarage Road down in the comment section to let me know that you guys are still here. What is it? Probably around half an hour into this rebuild. It really does mean a lot to me, and I do appreciate it. So thank you very much. Let's get into this transfer update. We've been out and we've signed some new gens, guys. This is what I'm going to say. We've spent some money, but it's all on new gens. We've signed a guy called Disney. Yes, he's got a face. It is the Zealand new gen face pack. For some reason, I've done it for my Red Star save, and it's pulling in some of the new gen faces in this save as well. I think this guy as a centre forward can grow into a very good player. Coming in as a fringe player from Sao Paulo. He's okay physically. Nice composure. Really nice flair at 20. Good technique, good passing. I think he could be a really good deep line forward, which, yeah, is exactly what my assistant is saying in terms of stuff here. We paid £12.75 million for him. He's okay. I think he can offer a little bit of a supporting role. He's not going to be the man who's going to lead the line. That is, of course, Benjamin Sesko. So, yeah, there we go. Annoyingly, with this guy and the guy that I spent a lot of money on, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is how I'm going to... Scheidler is how I'm going to say this dude's name. He comes in from Lille, but I couldn't get a work permit for him in England. If you've managed in England, you know the work permit situation is a right pain in the backside. So he's 19 years of age. So I've had to loan him back out to a team in Turkey to get him some football. And it's such a shame because he looks brilliant. Really nice agility and balance, great natural fitness, really good mentals where he needs them other than concentration. I think he looks great. Really nice technical attributes and stuff like that as well. I'm really impressed with this guy as a player. Unfortunately, he's had to go out on loan. Now he's joined for £60 million. I'm playing the long game here. I'm playing the game for you guys. You guys can download this save in my Discord server. You can go in and take over this save. So I'm basically playing it for you guys who want to take over at this point. £60 million. I thought he was going to be good. Couldn't get a work permit. Playing in Turkey, I think he will end up with a work permit by the end of the season. But yeah, unfortunately, not a great player there for us, because we spent a lot of money on him and he might not play a lot of games. So the next guy has really nice physicals, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. I think, again, he could grow into being a good little player. I kind of signed him and I'm going to train him as a volante just to get him a little bit more used to it. He's got a good first touch, good free kick taken. His passing's okay. I'm thinking he will get a little bit better. 19 years of age, comes in from AC Milan. £13.75 million for him. There wasn't anyone in terms of like big players that I thought would make a big difference to this team. So if we quick pick without restriction, this is how the team's looking going into season number 5. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, Gabia, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, Udogi, Zakaria, and Soleil, Sa, DeMarco, Pacina, Sesko. This is exactly how we finished last season. In terms of the competitions, we've only got the 3 this year: the Premier League, the Emirates FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. So I'm expecting a good year in the Premier League with less fixtures. That's kind of where I'm hoping for us to be. In terms of the competitions and stuff like that, they want us to finish inside the top half of the Prem, reach the quarterfinals of both domestic cup competitions. So that is what we're going for. I want to win a cup competition in season number 5. So fingers crossed we can do that, and then obviously finish up as high as we possibly can inside the Premier League. Let's finish this up really nicely. Simulate season 5. I'll be back for that right now. So guys, this is the end of the 5th and final season of this Watford rebuild, and we finished in 3rd in the Premier League. I'm really happy with this. Yes, okay, we've got 70 points and we finished in 3rd, and the winners finished with 91. I still progress. We've drawn a lot of games this year. If we expand this Premier League table so you can kind of have a look at it a little bit more, 20 victories for us, which is really nice, but 10 draws, really unfortunate, especially drawing in there games like Norwich is not a good one to draw. Villa, maybe Fulham, stuff like that. Not really great in terms of some of the draws that we've had, but really nice in terms of everything else. 8 losses, 52 goals scored, only 28 goals conceded. We are really good defensively, which is probably why we're quite good in cup competitions. And we finish on the 70 points. If we go back to the competitions, knocked out in the semi-final of the Emirates FA Cup by Chelsea. That one was in extra time as well. Wolves beating Manchester United is crazy considering they got relegated. And then we're knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup by Leeds United, which is really disappointing in terms of the Carabao Cup. It looks like we've had a good little spell in it, obviously winning it 2 seasons ago. Premier League though, doing really well. I'm happy with this team. I don't think I could take it much further, but you guys can do that. If you want to pick up this save, you can do so via my Discord. The link will be at the top of the description. Come and join the Discord community. Over 2,000 people in there now, and you can pick up and play this save yourself. Just boot me out as manager and take over Watford in this position. They do have 58 million to spend for the next season if you want it, so please do go and do that. If you have enjoyed it, drop a like on it down below, but you will see popping up now an annotated video on one of the sides, I don't know which side I'm going to put it on yet, of a playlist of all these rebuild challenges. Guys, please do go and check it out, and until next time, take care, enjoy yourself, see you soon.